Hello, my name is Doug Leisure, and I wanted to record a video regarding my software that we use for recording donations given to a church or other religious organizations. I was working with a small church the other day, and they were showing me how they were printing their receipts, but they were doing it by copying and pasting into a Word document. And the whole reason for doing that was to try to make the receipt look much prettier, much more professional. And it kind of dawned on me that that I've never talked with you or shown you any of the steps that you can use to do some simple Excel-like formatting to make my donation software, especially the receipts, look a lot more professional and, if you will, prettier for your donors. So I just want to go through some of those steps today. So we print the receipts at the end of the year, and it automatically prints one for all of your donors. But I just wanted to show you how we could very simply and easily take this receipt form and make it look, I think, a lot more attractive. So the first step is, if you remember from the user guide, these tabs are protected so you don't accidentally break anything. However, you are allowed to unprotect it. We do that by going to the review and then click the unprotect button. Now at this point, I will caution you to be careful. Make sure you're not breaking anything that's in here, especially these kinds of formulas. But all we're really talking about here is just doing some fairly simple, straightforward Excel formatting types of steps. So let's take a look at how simply we could do that. So, for example, maybe we want to take the title here, right, and make it larger. So let's just do that, and even right from a lot of the icons that Excel gives us, we can just come here and just simply increase the font size. Okay, so we can make that larger. The other thing we can do is we can draw some borders around here, and then again from Excel makes it pretty simple to do that. If we go to the border, we can click on that and choose some borders. Let's go ahead and do how about an outside border? Right, so now there's a square box around all of that header information, if you will. Let's do a similar thing down here for the donor information. Go ahead and just draw a border around the outside of it. And then for the details here of our monthly giving, let's use the border, but let's do one of the other ones, which would be all borders. So it gives it that kind of a look. So we can see the individual cells for every category and every month. And then just to kind of finalize, let's go ahead and draw a border around the bottom part here. And again, that would be an outside border. And just like I did here with the font size, bolding things, these are some things you could do very quickly and easily. So again, just fairly simple, straightforward Excel-like formatting techniques. Now, the one thing I will make sure I want to caution you with is don't be deleting rows in here, and also don't be deleting columns. So one of the things we have to be a little bit cautious about is just the idea that because my software allows for up to 20 different donation categories, but you only display the ones that you need, there are going to be hidden columns in here. All right, so we just have to be aware that there are hidden columns here, and actually there's some at the end as well. So don't be deleting rows or deleting columns. But as far as just these simple techniques for formatting, it works pretty quickly and easily. And actually there's one more I wanted to show you, and that is the concept of actually adding a logo in addition to just simply words and numbers. So we can do that again, making sure that the tab is unprotected. We can go here to the insert picture, If we click on the little drop down, we can insert from this device. So it's a file that's stored on this device. And then we can browse to the location of our logo. And here's one here we can use. And I can click then the insert. All right. So I don't know if you noticed my cursor is actually over here in a cell over here on the right, but that's okay because I actually want it to come in here and give me a chance to, and I'm just grabbing the corner edges here so that I can start to resize it and get it down to something smaller. Sorry, why did I do that? Oh, sorry, it did that on me. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, but once I have it sized a little bit smaller, then I can just grab it now, click and drag and move it over here. So it's still a little bit too large. Let's make it even smaller and position it correctly. Okay, so that just gives you an idea of how we could very easily change the formatting, add logos to the receipt, make it look a lot more professional. And when you're done, go back to the review and go ahead and protect the sheet again. Use the standard options and click OK. The one thing I will mention, since we're making these changes in the Excel file, when you're all done, go ahead and make sure you come back to the Entry tab so you're ready for next week's donation. Use the normal Excel Save button to save our changes, and then they'll be sitting in there and ready for our use. And so when we get to the end of the year and it's time to print the receipts, use the menu to do print annual receipts, and it's going to come here to this tab and walk down through all of your people, calculate their annual donations, and print the receipt. But the difference is it's going to look so much better if you'll just do some simple formatting to it. All right, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.